Hello, aloha family. Hope you guys are having a beautiful day, beautiful week, beautiful life. So today we are going to jump back into our meditation series. We've already covered a little bit about the why behind why we meditate, why we do this practice at all. And we went over the misconceptions of meditation as well. And today I'm going to touch a little bit more on a couple of other misconceptions that I feel are important to understand when you're beginning your practice, as well as understanding how to take those first steps. So if you're coming into meditation and it's, very new to you, it can be a little bit daunting at times because we see so much information out there and so many different ways to meditate, and we wonder, which one's the right one for me, and which teacher do I look to, and which one is going to really bring me that feeling that people are talking about, that reason why we meditate, to get to this place where we can navigate life by listening to our internal realm. So which direction, which route do I take? So I want to address some of these questions and give you a couple of spaces that you can start. So before we jump in, I want to just actually practice what we're talking about and just take a minute to ground together. This is going to be a really, really simple, quick meditation. This is not going to be anything crazy or intense. It's just to really bring us into this moment, and so you can kind of feel what that does, why we ground ourselves, why we bring ourselves to a couple moments of stillness before jumping into a video or, listening to a podcast or talking to a friend. Having just, a couple seconds or a minute here and there throughout our day is actually a beautiful way to start practicing meditation and seeing the benefits of it for you very quickly. So I'm going to ask you, if you feel comfortable, to close down your eyes with me. And if it feels comfortable as well, you can bring a hand or both hands to your heart. And just allowing your eyelids to close, coming fully into this space. Feeling your connection beneath you with the earth. And imagining here for a moment that you can breathe beautiful, pure, clean air up from the earth through your entire body. And just notice how that makes your body feel. Noticing how your breath feels today. Maybe taking a moment to deepen the breath into the belly. And if you notice any thoughts moving in your mind, it's okay. You don't need to get rid of them. They're welcome. The purpose is not to get rid of our thoughts, but rather to not cling to them. To just shift our relationship with them. Just allowing them to pass by like clouds in the sky. Remembering that you are this sky, this vast expanse of consciousness. That these thoughts are not you. Just a happening. And when you're ready, opening your eyes, noticing if maybe something subtle has shifted here. Just seeing if you feel maybe a bit more peaceful. It's a little bit easier to receive information when we come from this space of peace and relaxation, especially with our nervous system. Our nervous system dictates so much of how we feel about our life, and we live in a world that's very fast-paced and can bring us into this kind of fight or flight response, moving us really high up into our head, to tension. So just taking a moment to notice, how do I feel? Do I feel different? You can incorporate that practice very easily throughout your day, maybe even setting a reminder on your phone for, a couple times of your day, just, hey, take a couple of deep breaths. Close your eyes for 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Tune into you. Notice how you're feeling. Our feeling is our guidance system. So today what I want to give you is a couple different practices you can begin with. And I want to start by saying, let go of all of the preconceived notions that you have about meditation. Every person's meditation is going to be different, and the actual goal of meditation is to get to a place where you no longer need to meditate to be in a meditative state. meaning you can be out in the world engaged with everything around you, and you have this very still ability to navigate life from a place of peace, where you're not being pulled by every single thought and thing into these spirals of the mind. So eventually, as we practice meditation at some point in our lives, hopefully, and if not, that's okay too, but hopefully there's this point where we recognize that we're carrying what we feel in meditation, this stillness, this ability to witness the mind without getting pulled by it. And we're allowing that to permeate into the rest of our life, into the rest of our daily existence, so that we can move through with constant peace. So one of the misconceptions as well of meditation is that, you have to be in a dark room, chanting Om with your eyes closed in lotus position or whatever it might be. There is no one way to meditate. There's so many ways. And what's really exciting about this is that you get to tune into what feels the best for you. So what I encourage you to do is to play with this, to get curious about what feels really peaceful and still, and when it is that you have the best relationship with your mind, meaning when it is that you feel the least pulled by your thoughts. And this will change day to day. Your mind is going to, show up to meditation one day and your mind could be completely crazy and chaos, which is generally when we kind of need meditation the most, right? And other days you might show up and just instantly drop into that void space of no mind. And it just depends. And really practicing devotion with this. It's not about so much, the time of I need to do exactly this amount of time every day. What is really important in the beginning of a practice is to get the devotion of showing up consistently for yourself, so that you have this space within yourself, no matter what's happening in life, to really come home to that still space. It's like an anchor. And speaking of anchors, what I was going to talk about today is that when you're first beginning meditation, you can start with maybe some light music. There's some great Spotify playlists. There's one called Yoga and Meditation. That one has some great songs on it where you can just kind of have something to focus on. If sound and frequency like that helps you to feel, more at peace within your body and gives you something to focus on besides your mind, that's a great way to begin. That's definitely what I did. I play around personally depending on the week with sound, with guided meditations on YouTube, and then also with just plain stillness. And it's really beautiful when you can get to a place where stillness is an option for you, and sometimes it can take a little bit of time to really be in stillness with no sound, no nothing to focus on besides just, maybe our breath. And that's what I would say as a recommendation. If you are beginning and you're not using music, but you really want to be still with yourself with not too much going on, focus on your breath. Your breath is the best anchor, in my opinion. You might find an even better one, maybe a mantra, maybe even a word. But really focusing on your breath is a beautiful way to bring you deeper into the body. And one of the reasons that I personally love this is because oftentimes with meditation, when we speak about it, there's all this focus on the mind. Even though it's about moving beyond the mind, not getting controlled by the mind, the intention is very beautiful. However, if you guys have heard this in law of attraction, manifestation, what we focus on is still what we're kind of attracting our energy to. So when we're focusing on not wanting mind or not wanting these thoughts, not wanting this story, we're still focusing on this region, this mental region. So in my opinion, one of the best ways to begin meditation is to actually begin with the breath and the body, noticing and just feeling into what is my body feeling, and feeling this without needing to narrate it, just noticing, literally just noticing. Gentle awareness. And if something comes up, if you start to feel your body contract, if you start to feel a bit of tension, that's usually an indicator that you've begun to think. And so every time something like that happens or something happens in the body and you can bring a little bit of breath there to release that tension, you might notice, oh, yep, I just went into my mind, let me come back to my breath. And reminding yourself as well that every time that you notice that you went off and spiraled off into a thought, because it happens, this is a practice, that's why it's called a practice. Every time that might happen, rather than saying, oh my God, I can't believe that I spiraled off and I, listened to my mind, instead, what's really powerful here is to celebrate the fact that you had the awareness to notice. We really want to keep that positivity, noticing and celebrating what you did right versus what your mind could tell you that you did wrong. There is no wrong. The fact that you showed up to do this for yourself is already beautiful and exactly what your soul is probably calling for in this moment. So those are my tips for getting started. And if you guys have any questions at all or recommendations for this series, feel free to drop them below. And happy meditating. I hope that you guys all find that beautiful still space within. And remember that there is no wrong way or no wrong place to begin. Just see what draws you in and experiment and play with it. That's the best part. And stay lighthearted, stay curious, and stay playful. Keep that childlike curiosity alive through this practice, and you'll have a much easier time. All right, much love. Namaste. See you guys in the next video.